All you're going to do today is you're going to identify whether that compound is an acid, a base, or a salt. That's it. Okay? And then you're going to tell me, is it a strong acid? Is it a weak acid? If it's a salt, it's not going to have either strong or weak. Okay? Now, how can I tell if something's an acid? If I have an H,
right? It's the H, and the base is OH.
If I have an H in front, very good.
We can't see that. We only see the bottom piece.
That makes it's an acid.
Oh, we can only see the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. If it has an H in front, it's an acid. Now, don't do the worksheet. Listen to the whole thing, and then do the worksheet. Okay. If it has an OH at the end, that's a base. Now, anything else together. For example, you can have, like, let's say strontium chloride. That's a salt. And it doesn't have to have a chloride. It could be something like strontium bromide. That's still a salt. Okay? So if it doesn't have an H or an OH, it's a salt. Now, look at number 1. What is that? Is it an acid, a base, or a salt?
It's an acid.
It's an acid. Okay, so you're going to write acid in here. Okay, now look at your list from what we did yesterday. Is it a strong acid or is it a weak acid?
Strong acid.
It's a strong acid. Okay. So you're going to write strong. So you're going to do that whether it's an acid or base. Now on one of these, that's, look at number 5. What is number 5?
It's salt.
Yep, very good. It's a salt. So because that's not going to be either strong or weak, let's put the phones away.
Miss, how'd you say that you find out if it's strong or...
I gave you those lists yesterday.
Oh.
You have a list of all the strong acids and all the strong bases, and then all the weak acids, all the weak bases, okay? Okay, and if it's a salt, you're just going to put a line through it. That's it. Okay? Now, let's go to... No. Mija, this is why we need to not be on the phone. Let me do this again. Anytime you have an acid plus a base, this is going to give you a salt plus water. Okay? This is a double replacement reaction. Anytime you mix a salt and a base, it neutralizes, and your products are always going to be a salt and water. Okay, so it doesn't matter what type of acid you have, like what we just did right now, and we did a base. This is a double replacement, right? The Na is going to go with the Cl because the Na is a plus and the Cl is a minus, right? That's your salt. But it does not have to be anything with a Cl. Anything that doesn't have the H or the OH is a salt. Period.
Miss, even if it has like on the number, like let's say the OH is in parentheses with the number.
Yep, because remember that comes from your oxidation number, from the crisscrossing. Yes, and so KCl, KBr, anything that doesn't have an H or an OH is a salt, yes. Okay? And then the H and the OH make your water. That's it. Okay? You're going to do that worksheet first because we're going to do that in 15 minutes. It's a little baby sheet. Okay? Then on the next, you're going to finish the vocab. You're going to show that to me. Okay? And then on the little diagram, this is going to go on page 48 of your INB notebook. And let's do the first one as an example. You have slippery feel. You're going to use your notes from yesterday. So slippery field, is that a property of an acid, a property of a base, or property of both? It's of a base, so you're going to write that in here, slippery feel. Okay, and you've done that one, and then you go to the next one. Okay, and so you're going to decide, is it only an acid property? Is it only a base property? Get off the phone, Adrian. Or is it a property of both things?
If it has an H in front and an OH at the end, it's a base, isn't
If it has an OH at the end, it's a base. If it has an H in front, it's only an acid.
What if it has both though? Like a NHO.
Okay, NH is the H in front? Think about it. Is the H in front of the whole compound? Is that a yes or no? No. So if it's not in front, it's not an acid. It just means it's part of that polyatomic ion, that NH4. That H is part of your NH4. Okay? If there's an OH at the end, then that means it's a what?
So if it's the middle,
If it has the OH in the end, give her a moment, give her a chance. If it has an OH at the end, then it means it's a what? It's a base. What was that other one?
what was in the middle of the Venn diagram?
Anything that has its properties of both an acid and a base. Like, let's say I say something like electrolytes. Both acids and bases are electrolytes, so it would be in the both section. Okay? Now, little thing there also, it's showing you, it's asking you about pH. Now, I know we haven't done pH, but when it's at 7, that means it's neutral. If it's 0 to 6, it's an acid. If it's from 8 to 14, it's a base.
Well, would it be 7 to 14? Because
7 is neutral.
oh,
So 8 to 14 is going to be your base. And then 0 to 6 is going to be your acid. And you know what? We'll do a lab on that next week. Okay? All right. Any questions so far on identifying between an acid, a base, or a salt?
A strong and not strong.
You have to look at the list, the one that I gave you.
8 to 14 is a base.
Mm-hmm.
What was the acid?
0 to 6. Okay? All right. Are we all good? Yes? Okay. I'm going to post it that way you guys can have